Who is Mel Kiper anyway? Mel Kiper drops his mock draft 4.0. Let's talk about the Detroit Lions picks. Hello, everyone. My name is Derek, and welcome back to Detroit Lions Syndicate. You already know what we do on this channel. We talk all things Detroit Lions, so subscribe, hit that notification bell so you won't miss another video. About a month ago, we did Mel Kiper's mock draft 3.0, and Mel Kiper has been in the business for over 40 years, publishing his first book in 1981, helping ESPN really get on the map and make the draft what it is today. So he's got kind of some substance behind him, and Mel Kiper is pretty respected when it comes to the mock draft community. I mean, this is what this man does. He eats, breathes, and sleeps NFL mock drafts. Soon after this draft is over, he will be going into the way too early 2023 mock draft. So Mel Kiper, he's been doing this for a long time. Sometimes he hits, sometimes he misses. He thought Jamarcus Russell was going to translate well to the NFL. He thought Alex Smith was going to be a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers, who was drafted 24 spots after the first overall pick in 2005. So he's been wrong quite a bit. And in this mock draft for the Detroit Lions, which I'm assuming will be his final one, if not his second to final one, he is all over the place in this one. I'm not sure if Mel does a 5.0, but with exactly 2 weeks to go into the NFL draft, there's only room really for one more mock draft. And between the month of 3.0 and now 4.0, I don't know if he will squeeze one in at the last minute. In his 3.0 mock draft, Mel Kiper had the Detroit Lions taking Kyle Hamilton second overall out of Notre Dame. Then at 32, he had us taking quarterback Matt Corral out of Ole Miss. This time he switched it up quite a bit for the Detroit Lions. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take a look at Mel Kiper's 4.0 mock draft, and we're going to look at the first three picks, number 2, 32, and 34 for the Detroit Lions. So without further ado, let's get into Mel Kiper's 4.0 mock draft for the Detroit Lions. And with the second pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Ahmad Sauce Gardner, cornerback out of Cincinnati. Can I interest you in a 6'3" corner with long arms and 4.1440 dash speed who didn't allow a single touchdown in coverage in college? That's Gardner. The Lions have several needs and will likely jump at Aiden Hutchinson if he somehow fell there. But if they select Gardner and get something out of Jeff Okudah, the number 3 pick in the 2022 draft, who has played just 10 games in 2 seasons, they could have a much improved secondary. You already know where I'm going here, man. Very scarred at the Jeff Okudah pick at second overall. And although Sauce Gardner is a phenomenal cornerback, number 2 is just too high for me. I want Aiden Hutchinson, I want a pass rush, or I want to trade back. Trading back would be first. Aiden Hutchinson will be second. I really want more value at the number 2 pick because I want to be competitive this year. So if we could somehow get somebody to bite up and trade, that would be awesome. I would probably pop a gasket if the Detroit Lions were to take Sauce Gardner number 2 or anybody in the secondary for that matter. I'm a strong believer that the front 7, the front 4, will help the secondary succeed. You can have a subpar secondary if you have a strong front 4, front 7, and that is the more important value in this draft for me and the Detroit Lions. So let me know what you think of Sauce Gardner being the number 2 pick according to Mel Kiper. We're going to move to the 32nd pick now, and last time in his 3.0 draft, he took Matt Corral out of Ole Miss. Let's see who Mel Kiper has us taking with that 32nd pick. And with the 32nd pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Lewis Cine, safety out of Georgia. The more I talk to people in the league, the more I think the Lions will stand pat on a quarterback with their 3 picks in the top 34. Jared Goff can be the starter in 2022, and if he struggles, chances are Detroit will be right back in the mix for the number 1 overall pick, which it can use on a signal caller. Cine is the 5th Georgia defender in the top 32 picks here, with 1 more to come. He's a good cover safety who's rising after he ran a 4.3740 at the combine. Mel Kiper pulling out phrases one really doesn't hear that often. Stand pat. Stand pat means to stick stubbornly or firmly to one's decision. So he's saying that he believes from talking to people in the league that the Detroit Lions will stay at picking a quarterback at 32. But if they were to go defense, a safety, which even though we did just sign a safety, we could use help back there as well, that he could see Lewis Cine coming in for the Detroit Lions. As he mentioned earlier, Cine will be one of 5 Georgia Bulldogs coming out in the first round. So it would be curious to know if the Detroit Lions are going to go. That would be 2 defensive players in a row, and that would also be 2 defenders in the secondary drafted in a row, a cornerback and a safety. So let me know in the comments below. Lewis Cine, what do you feel about that pick? And how about Mel Kiper? Who is Mel Kiper anyway? Stand pat. Who uses stand pat? We're going to bring in the 34th pick as well. We didn't do this in Mel Kiper's 3.0 mock draft, but we're going to bring it in here. The Detroit Lions in the first round with the pick, so we'll be going out there. And then when day 2 starts, the second round, the second pick, Detroit Lions, as of right now, will be picking as well. Let's see who Mel Kiper has us picking with the 34th pick. And with the 34th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select David Ojabo, outside linebacker, Michigan. Ojabo is my top-ranked outside linebacker, even after he tore his Achilles last month and could miss most of the season. If the Lions are thinking long-term, they could get a steal with a high-ceiling edge rusher. Whether we get Aiden Hutchinson or not, I think it would be pretty cool to have David Ojabo as part of the Detroit Lions. But picking at 34 seems a bit high to me. Even with the ceiling that Ojabo does have, he has to come back from that Achilles injury. Spirit of Detroit podcast brought this up a few videos ago, that if David Ojabo was to fall to 66 in that 3rd round, the Detroit Lions could take him then. I agree with that sentiment as well. I think 34 is a little too high. We still need a receiver as well. I don't think we're going to wait to the 4th round to be taking one. So I could see a receiver at 34, especially if we go 2 defensive players in the first 2 picks. So a receiver at 34, Ojabo seems a bit high to me. No matter what his ceiling, he still has to recover from that Achilles injury. We've seen players come back from the Achilles injury in record time. We know Cam Akers came back in about 6 months, and there were a lot of Achilles tears last year. With the medical science and things that they have, these players can come back in a swift pace. What I did see when Ojabo tore it last month at the Michigan Pro Day, that at the earliest, it would probably be the end of September that he could come back, maybe in the middle of the season. So let me know in the comments below, would you take David Ojabo at 34, or do you think that's just a little too high for the injured linebacker? My name is Derek. This is Detroit Lions Syndicate. Almost at 1,900 subscribers, trying to get to 2,000, and we got 2 weeks to get there, so we got to cover some ground. So be sure to subscribe, like the content as well, hit that notification bell, and as always, go Lions.